Hello and welcome to the course. This is Gaston College's Bio 161 course, an introduction to human biology. I'll be your instructor, Mr. Jason Moyer. And even though this course is titled Introduction to Human Biology, this course is really an introduction into human anatomy and physiology. We will cover a good amount of material in a short amount of time, so it's very important that you keep up to date with all the material that we cover. And in this video, we'll discuss how the course will be laid out, how the course will be evaluated, and what materials you will need. And we'll first start off with going over our course syllabus. Okay, this is the course syllabus that we'll be using, and we'll go over some key parts of the syllabus that I strongly encourage all of you to read through the syllabus to answer any questions that you may have. If something isn't clear in the video, odds are the answers to your questions will be found here in the syllabus. Part 1, course information. Our course title here, Bio 161. Of course, our semester, fall 2017. Information on how to reach me. Of course, my name again, Jason Moyer. Office phone number listed there, and I'm on the main campus in Dallas. And my phone number here for my cell phone. My email, moyer.jason@gaston.edu. Office location. My office is in the Roush building in Dallas, Roush 216. And listed below are my office hours when I'm physically in my office. It will vary depending on the day, when I'm there and when I'm not there. Mondays, I'm there 9 to 10 a.m., then again from 11:30 to 1. On Tuesdays, 9 to 9:30 a.m., and then from 12:30 to 2. Wednesdays, 9 to 10 a.m., then 11:30 to 1. Thursdays, 9 to 9:30, and then 12:30 to 1. And on Fridays, basically all morning from 9 a.m. to roughly 1 p.m. If you feel the need that you need to come by and see me, make sure that you contact me ahead of time so we can schedule an appointment, because there's no guarantee that I will be there if you stop by. There's always a chance I could be meeting with another instructor or meeting with our department chair. If you feel the need to talk in person, face to face, please contact me so we can set up and confirm a meeting time. My preferred way to be contacted is either through email or through text. When you text, you can text this number here. It goes right to my cell phone. And the reason why I prefer email and text, that way there is a record of you contacting me and then me responding back to you. Just calling my office is probably not the best way to reach me. Stopping by my office is probably not the best way to reach me unless you have a confirmed appointment. But I always respond to email and always respond to text. A course description, of course, provides a basic survey of human biology. We'll talk about the basic structure and the function of body systems. We'll go over certain medical terminology terms. So this is, again, a introductory anatomy and physiology course. Let's see the credit hours and prerequisites. This is a 3-credit-hour class. There is no lab component because this is an online course, and there are no prerequisites for this course. The course format, of course, this is an online course. So everything that you need will be posted online. All course announcements, the course syllabus, what we're going over now, all content will be delivered online. The textbook and course materials. Textbook, Essentials of Human Anatomy and Physiology, the 12th edition. This is a new edition that we're using for the fall. That book is by Elaine Marieb. And some online software that I'll get into in more detail here in a few minutes. It's called Modified Mastering A&P from Pearson Higher Education. Every assignment that you will do in this course, except the very first one, is done through Mastering A&P. So it is absolutely vital that you're able to access the software and be able to use it correctly. Course requirements. Again, because this is an online course, you need to have a stable internet connection and then, of course, access to Blackboard. Gaston College will use Microsoft Office 2016 or Office 365 for classes. You are able to download these programs for free if you need to. So you can contact our tech office on how to do that. And this section is in bold for a reason. Not having the software or not being able to run software on your computer is not an excuse for not submitting work by the scheduled deadline. All the programs that you will need are available for free through the college. There's absolutely no excuse on why you can't turn it in the format that is requested. There are plenty of computer labs on all the campuses of the college and also in the library. So there's plenty of access to computers that you need. Moving on to part 2, course details. Very important one, class attendance and participation. All right, the college policy on participation. You must participate 90% or more in a course. If you fail to do so, the instructor has the right to remove you from a course. And in a class like this, if you are not active in a class and you aren't participating, you aren't going to do well anyway. And because this is an online class, what will count as being a participant is doing at least one assignment per week. So a study module, a chapter quiz, a discussion board post. So all those count as being active. And if you are not active for a prolonged amount of time in the course, I have the right to remove you from the course. Let's see, a withdrawal policy. It is the student's responsibility to withdraw yourself from the class. You were able to sign up for the class, so you should be able to withdraw from the class. And this information here is very important. That's why it's in bold and in red. The last day to withdraw from a course for the fall 2017 semester is November 15th. If you're on a class roster after that date, you must receive a grade, A, B, C, D, or F. If you try to withdraw yourself after that deadline, you automatically get an F. If you withdraw before this deadline, you will get a W on your transcripts. But that W does not affect your GPA. So there's plenty of time between now and this deadline. So if you aren't sure whether or not you should stay in the class or withdraw, then contact me before this deadline and we'll discuss your situation in more detail to see what is the best option for you at that point. All right, next part we'll go over is the course evaluation, how the course will be graded. The final grade in the class is determined by the sum of all the points earned and all the graded assignments, and they're listed in this table below. So we'll go over the table first, and then we'll go over these bullet points here. There are 13 chapter quizzes at 75 points each. There are 13 study modules at 20 points each. The midterm and final exam are 250 points each. The discussion board icebreaker is 200 points, and something that's due at the very end of the course, the GEO project, the General Education Outcome Project, which is worth 65 points. So all these total together, a total of 2,000 possible points. Now I mentioned this discussion board icebreaker, and this first bullet point is in red and in bold for a very critical reason. Because this is an online course, you must show that you are an active participant in the class within the first week. This is true for all online courses, not just mine. This is true for every online course at the college. So your first assignment is due on the discussion board. This is the only assignment that you will do all semester that's not done through Mastering A&P, that software I mentioned earlier. And I will show you later in the video where you go to fill out this discussion board icebreaker. It is found on Blackboard, and it must be completed by 11:59 p.m. this Friday, August 25th. If you fail to do this assignment, you will be removed from the course. All this icebreaker is posting a little bit of background about you, basically introducing yourself to your classmates and to me, what your name is, where you're from, why you're taking the class, any concerns you may have about the class. So I don't need a 1,000-word essay, but just 3 or 4 lines just about you to introduce yourself to the rest of us. All right, regarding chapter quizzes, there'll be a chapter quiz each week, and we'll cover only one chapter. Those chapter quizzes will be made available just after midnight on Fridays, so 12:01 a.m. Friday, and they will remain available until 11:59 p.m. on Sundays. After that deadline, that quiz will go away and you will not be able to take it anymore. So you have all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday to take your chapter quiz. And this is true every single week. Also, each week you will have a study module that is due, and it is due by 11:59 p.m. on Friday of that week. Now, the modules are a little bit different. They are available throughout the entire semester, but each assignment is due that week. So, for example, if we are in, say, late October, and you want to go back and review something from study module number 1 that we'll do this week, you can. You can view all the modules throughout the entire semester. But the assignment that is due for that week's chapter or for that week's study module is due by the Friday of that week. And we'll go over our full schedule of assignments here in a few minutes. And again, you must complete at least one assignment each week to be considered an active participant in the class. So every week you have a study module due by Friday nights, and a quiz due by Sunday nights. And something I'll mention now, do not wait until the very last minute to start these assignments. They are due before these times. So don't start your study modules Friday night at 11:55 because you won't have time. Plus, there's no guarantee that your internet connection may be working like it should. Blackboard may be down at that point. So make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to turn in these assignments. The grading scale, this is something that is standard in all arts and science classes here at Gaston College. A grade of A is considered superior, so 90% and higher. B, 80 to 89%. C, 70 to 79%, and so on. So this is a 10-point grading scale. Going on to the makeup policy. You will, in a few minutes, be given your entire list of assignments for the entire semester. So there's absolutely no excuse for you to not know when something is due. So because of that, there are no makeups for any unexcused absence. Now, obviously, if there's a medical emergency that comes up, yes, that's a little bit different. If there's a death in the immediate family, of course, that's a little bit different. Just because you forgot that the quiz was due Sunday night, no, you can't take it Monday morning. These deadlines are deadlines for a reason. So there is no makeups for any missed assignments. Viewing grades. All grades will be posted on Blackboard under where it says My Grades within 24 hours of their stated deadline. Our course schedule, here are the chapter numbers and their names. We'll start with the human body and orientation, basic chemistry, cells and tissues, skeletal system, muscular system, and then the nervous system. Then we'll have our midterm exam. The midterm exam will cover information that we've covered up to that point. So all of these chapters will be covered by the midterm. After that, we'll start with Chapter 9, the endocrine system. Then we'll go on to blood, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, digestive system and body metabolism, urinary system, and then we'll end the course with the reproductive system. And then we'll have our final exam. Our final exam is not cumulative. It will cover information from the midterm forward. So you can think of this as another midterm, but just at the end of the course. So from Chapter 9 on. All right, our final exam. All online classes, their final exams are available at the same time. They'll be posted and made available for students on Friday, December 8th at 4 p.m. You cannot take it any earlier than that time, that date. For this class, your final exam will be due by the following Tuesday, December 12th, just before midnight. And this last part here, under other important information, the very last page of the syllabus is what's called the signature page. And by signing that, you are agreeing to the terms that are laid out within the syllabus. So this is why I encourage you to take time to read through all of the syllabus, not just the parts that we're going over in the video, but make sure that you read through it all. Because if you sign it, you are agreeing to the terms there. You can't go back later and say, well, I didn't know I couldn't make up the midterm. I didn't know you wouldn't drop a test. So the signature page, you can do one of two ways. Probably the easiest way is just to email me directly, with your name. I, Jason Moyer, agree to abide by the terms laid out in the course syllabus for Bio 161. That's probably the quickest way to handle it both for you and for me. Or you can print out this last page and sign it and send me a scanned image of it. But I cannot issue you a grade for the course until I get the signature page signed and have on file. Move on to part 3. See policies, procedures, and best practices. See students' rights and responsibilities. On the first day of class, the instructor will provide students with the course syllabus, which is what we're going over right now. That's one of the big reasons why we have this introductory video. See assignments will be graded and returned in a timely manner. The students will regularly use the text and materials that are stated within syllabus. What I have the right to expect from you as the instructor. You will read the syllabus and ask for clarification if any are needed. You will submit your assignments independently and on time, and you will obtain and use all the required text and materials for the course. All right, SPSP, the Student Persistence and Success Plan. As your instructor, I'm here to help you do the best that you can in the class. If there's some issue that comes up in your life that is preventing you from doing the best job that you can, maybe an unexpected financial hardship, then the college has a way to help students with that. So if there is something like that you want to see if the college can help you with, then you are encouraged to contact the Office of Persistence and Retention. And here's their phone number here. The academic dishonesty. Of course, cheating will not be tolerated at all. If it's been determined that a student has been cheating on a quiz or an exam or a project, not only are you kicked out of the class, you'll be kicked out of the college. So it really is not worth trying to cheat on any kind of assignment we have. And this is one of the big reasons why all of your chapter quizzes are timed assignments. Exam will be timed, every chapter quiz will be timed, the geo project will be timed, because those quizzes are not designed to see how well can you look up the answers. They're designed to test how well you know the information. All right. If you have any issues with the course, here are ways to contact my bosses. The chair of the Math and Science Department, Dr. Armstrong, her office, her phone number, and her email. And then her boss, the Dean of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Woodson, her office, her phone number, and her email. ADA statement. If you think you have a need for an accommodation for quizzes or for exams, you can't just tell me and expect me to give that to you. This has to be documented by the college. So if you think that is a legitimate issue that you may have, then please contact the special needs counselors, and their phone number is here. Once they determine that an accommodation is necessary, they will contact me, and then I will do whatever I need to do to meet that accommodation. Here, the very last page is the signature page. It has my name already typed in there, the course, and then the semester. If you decide to actually print out this physical page, you would print your name here, then sign it here, and then email me that image. Or again, probably the fastest way is to email me with your name, and then have read and understand and agree to abide by the statements in the syllabus. But make sure that you include not only your name, but Bio 161. All right, now we've gone over the syllabus, how the course will be laid out, how the course will be structured. Now we'll go into how things will look when you get to Blackboard. Okay, when you first log into Blackboard, this is what you'll see. And again, keep in mind that mine will look a little bit different than yours, since I am the instructor. But in general, this is what you'll see. Course announcements will be the first thing that you'll see. And every announcement will be kept here in chronological order. So I will send out a introductory email on Monday morning, August 21st. That email will go here. Then any additional announcements will go on top of that one. And all the announcements for the entire semester will be kept here in this one location. Right. Course information. On this tab, you'll find the course syllabus that we just went over, the course schedule, the grading policy, and the participation policy. Both of these are the same text taken right from the course syllabus, but they are isolated on their own here again, just in case you want to double check those and not have to go through the entire course syllabus. And going further down, some information on how to get started with mastering A&P, that software. And again, information about the textbook. We'll go over our course schedule. Okay, here is every assignment that we will have the entire semester, with dates and times. And again, everything listed here on the entire document, every single one is done through Mastering A&P, except for this very first one. So this first week of class, you have 3 assignments that are due. You have the discussion board icebreaker by this Friday, the 25th, before midnight. The Chapter 1 study module by this Friday, 11 or just before midnight. And then your first chapter quiz by this Sunday night, August 27th, before midnight. And this is why it is absolutely critical for you to know whether or not you can access Blackboard, or if you can access Mastering A&P correctly, and can you use it properly. So this is something that you need to do very early on in the week, in case there are any issues that come up. In the midterm exam, when we have that week, you won't have a study module due, you won't have a chapter quiz due, you'll just have that midterm. The only time that this schedule gets thrown off a little is during Thanksgiving week. That'll be in between chapters 15 and 16. Thanksgiving week should be a time for family and friends and being with people that you care about, and not being distracted by a study module or a chapter quiz. So for that week, not only is the college closed, of course, but you will not have assignments that week. So next link, faculty information. Same information that's available on the syllabus. My email here, phone numbers here, both office and cell phone. My office location, the Roush Building, 216. Office hours, same ones listed in the syllabus. And a little bit of background on me here. All right, next are the lecture notes and lecture videos. All of the lecture notes for these chapters will be found here. And right now, the first 3 chapters are available. So you have the chapter name and then a PowerPoint presentation. Now, in addition to these PowerPoint notes for each chapter, I also have included lecture videos. What I have done is I've recorded a lecture for each chapter, just like I would give the lecture to a seated class. So, and I do this for a few reasons. Some people can just read PowerPoint notes and be fine with the material. Others, it's more beneficial to have it explained to them by an actual person. So I do both. If you want to just do the videos, that's fine. If you just want to do the PowerPoints, that's fine. If you want to do both, that's fine. It is your call, whatever works best for you. But as the PowerPoints are made available for each chapter, the lecture videos will also be available. And those videos will link up to my YouTube channel. All right, Mastering A&P, we'll go back to this here in a second. Discussion board. This is where you will put your discussion board icebreaker assignment that's due by Friday of this first week of class. Again, it's really just a way to introduce yourself to me and to your classmates. Also, there are threads available for any general questions that you have about the class. And then there'll be a thread for each individual chapter. So let's say you have a question about chapter number 5. Don't put your question in the thread for chapter number 1. Make sure that you are keeping these in the proper location. I'll be checking this discussion board several times every day because this is an online class. So if you have questions, always contact me. Always feel free to ask, either by posting it here in general class questions or contacting me directly through email or text. Because for this kind of class, it's very easy to get behind pretty quickly. All right, the Geo project, that information will be posted later on in the semester, probably mid to late October. So as we get closer to October, I'll give you more information about that. So now we'll go over Mastering A&P. Now before we get into the details of what all these links are and how it looks, I need to go over some common issues that people have when trying to log into Mastering A&P. So we'll go over how Mastering A&P works first, and then we'll come back and go over these individual links. All right, first of all, Mastering A&P is required for this course. Now, every study module is done through Mastering A&P. Every chapter quiz is done through Mastering A&P. Your midterm and your final are all based from Mastering A&P. So you must have an access, or you must be able to log in and use that software correctly. Because if you don't, you're not going to do well in the course. Secondly, you will need an access code to log in and to use Mastering A&P. Now, students fall into one of 3 categories typically when it comes to this software. 1, you bought a brand new textbook from the bookstore on campus and it has access code with it. Or you bought a new textbook from the bookstore and it doesn't have the access code. Or 3, you have either rented the book or you bought the book from someplace other than our bookstore. Kindle, Amazon, so on. So we'll go over what you need to do in each of these situations. Alright, first, if you bought the new textbook from our bookstore and it has access code, then you are fine. You don't need to do anything. Just make sure that you're able to log in to Mastering A&P, but you log in from Blackboard. Do not go through the publisher's website. Log in from Blackboard, because all you need is the access code that's given to you within the book. If you don't log in from Blackboard directly, I won't see that you have completed the work. And if I don't see that you've done it, then I'm going to assume that you didn't, and you'll get a 0. Alright, second, this is the one that's the most involved. If you bought a brand new textbook from the bookstore and it doesn't have the access code, you can return it for one that does have the code. But you must have the receipt in order to exchange the books, because you cannot exchange the books without one. If you bought the book using your financial aid, your receipt can be looked up through a database, even if you don't have your paper receipt. Make sure that when you're getting the new book, that it says Modified Mastering A&P. If it doesn't have the word modified in it, then you're getting something different. So you must be using Modified Mastering A&P. If you don't have the receipt, then you must buy an access code from the publisher directly. There's no way I can get around that. But if you use financial aid to buy it, your receipt can be looked up. But if you pay it out of pocket, or if you can't find a receipt, you have to purchase it from the publisher directly. And scenario number 3, you either rented the book or you bought it from somewhere else other than the Gaston College bookstore, then you must buy the access code from the publisher. And there are two formats you can buy it in. One comes with an electronic textbook, and one doesn't. It depends on what you want. The one that has a textbook is a little more expensive than the one that doesn't, but of course you're getting more information and more resources. Alright, so now we covered the issues that come up with mastering A&P. Now we'll get into how it looks when you log in and what everything does. Alright, now we've gone over how to access mastering A&P. We'll go over the details on how it looks. Now again, mine looks a little bit different than yours will as a time instructor. The area that you'll go to most often is this one, Mastering Assignments. And again, it's very important that you log into Mastering A&P from Blackboard. If you try to log in from the Pearson main site, I won't see any work that you turn in. So if I don't see any work that you turn in, I'm going to assume that you didn't do it. All right, on here you have a color-coordinated schedule. You can look at it in the calendar view like this, or in a list view like this. Everything that's on here has its own color. So all the study modules have this light salmon color. If you hover over it, it'll tell you when it is due and whether or not it is available or not. And then the quizzes, of course, they aren't available yet, but they tell you when they are available and when they are due by. So all the quizzes are this light Carolina blue color. Now this assignment here, the Introduction to Mastering A&P, this is not really an assignment. This is really a tutorial on how to use the Mastering A&P software. It's not required, but I really encourage you to take a look at this. And I just put the date of the 31st to be due, just to have it on the calendar. But again, it's not an assignment, it's a tutorial. So again, everything is color coordinated all the way down to the very end of the course with our final exam would be made available here on the 8th, but it is due by the 12th. So going back to here, another feature that is available is the Pearson eText. This is really an electronic version of your textbook. When you sign up for the access code, if you need to buy one separately, you have the option of getting a electronic textbook. It's exactly the same text as the hard copy, the physical textbook, just in an electronic form. But this is no different than the textbook that we use. So you have a table of contents, and this is the cover of the book that you'll be using here. Again, it's the newest edition, the 12th edition. But if you choose this option, this is what you will see, the eText. The study area. This area is another good resource for reviewing the material. They have flashcards, they have glossaries, they have key terms, they have practice tests, reading quizzes, and these are not required assignments, but if you choose to do more review material, then this is a good location to go for that. They have some animations that are anatomy, physiology based here, so this is a good resource. But again, nothing in here is required, but it's just a good place to go to review. All right, so that should cover the basic information that you need for this class. And again, if you have questions about the course, odds are very high that it is mentioned in the syllabus or in this video, or perhaps both. So check the syllabus first. If you don't see it there, check the discussion board under general class questions. And again, I've mentioned this before, and you'll mention this the entire semester. If you have a question, don't hesitate to contact me and ask. As the instructor, I'm here to help you. So never feel bad about asking questions. Again, if you have questions, either about the video or about the class, let me know. And I hope all of you have a great semester.